Jai Hind everyone, welcome back to the Patriotic IS. This sessions will be for the daily current affairs discussion, and particularly we will be focusing on the Hindu, the newspaper that will be the Hindu that we will be doing the thorough analysis. As we know that the UPSC is totally focused on the current affairs, even the state PCUs that are totally focused on the current affairs. That's why we give the centralized position to the Hindu newspaper and the current affairs. So the timing for the daily discussion from the tomorrow onwards, it will be 9:30, and from the 9:30 it will be the English medium, and for Hindi medium student it will be 2:30 into afternoon. So this will be the timing for the current affairs class discussion. In this class discussion, we will be totally focusing on the pattern of UPSC and the way UPSC asks question into its prelims, mains and interview. So this is so important that the questions are being asked not only into the prelims but also into the mains, GS paper 2 and GS paper 3 of UPSC, totally based on the current affairs. So beside that, on a daily basis, we will have the discussion on the 6 to 7 questions from the prelims perspective and one mains question that you will be given to write as assignment. So this will be the pattern of these classes. So you should join and you should be very serious. Even those who are living in the Gorakhpur, they can join the classes in offline mode. The charges for the class is very minimal. Okay, so let's start the classes. The first topic that we are going to discuss is from the GS paper 1, the topic that has been covered into the Hindu. First topic is the RGI. RGI's flag delays by the hospital in reporting birth and death. So what is the RGI? This is the Registrar General of India. So who is the Registrar General of India and what is the main function? Here you will see that the Registrar General of India, its work under the Ministry of Home Affairs, and it's collected data with respect to the birth and the death, so that we could have the, if in the case of there is the delay in the census that we have seen this time, the scheduled time for the census was 2021, but till now it has not been taken place. In that case, the data that we try to predict or the try to make our plans on the basis of this type of the data collected by the Registrar General of India. So it's work under the Ministry of Home Affairs. Please remember that. Beside that, you should know that this is very important news article for a common man perspective. People think that this is our responsibility to register the death and the birth. But you should know that as a common person, it is the responsibility of the hospitals. If the child has taken birth into the any of the hospital, it is the responsibility of the hospital to register the death and birth of any of the child. So here you should know that it should be within 21st 21 day. Normally what we see that there is the corruption and hospitals ask the money and the charges for the registration, and even in many cases they ask people to go and you should themselves go and register into the registrar office. So this is illegal. In the case of any such discrepancy, you can complain, you can file a FIR, and there is the penalties to the hospital. So whenever from next time, whenever you go to the hospital and those hospital personality if asking for the money for the registration of death and the birth, so you should not pay. And please make this awareness to reduce the corruption and fight against the corruption in India. So here you will find all the news is with respect to that there has been the hospitals that has been they are denying people and they are delaying the registration process, and the information they are communicating with a lot of delays. That's why the ministry has communicated that this is not acceptable because this is creating the lacuna in the preparation of data. So all this thing has been mentioned in this article, this news. Here you will see that the section 22 clause 23 clause 2, the registration of birth and death act, that give the mandate to the Registrar General of India. So here negligence by the registrar in registering any birth or the death, that is punishable with the fine. So you can see that here it is the statutory basis that gives the mandate for this registration. Again, here you will see that the Union Home Ministry, that is the main authority, and under this the Registrar General of India works. So please remember all these things. This is very important. Beside that, you will see that the Registrar General of this registration of birth and death act, that was passed in 1969, and it was amended in 2023 recently, and here we have brought the provision for the online application and online registration for the central portal. Okay, so here we have the civil registration system, and under that centers online portal works, and hospital have to responsibility to function as the registrar, that it is the responsibility of the hospital. They should inform the registrar that this number of the birth and this number of the death has been taken place in this particular hospital. So this is all about, so this is not only informative, it is a bit very much that is as the responsibility of the citizen. You should aware this thing because hospital misuse this non-information, asymmetric information with the people. This has been mentioned that the many of the private hospital, they have not registered within the time limit that has been mentioned. Here you will see that from October 2023, digital birth certificate, that is the single document that you can use as a birth certificate. Previously, it was the 10th certificate that we were using, but now it is the birth certificate that you can use for the admission into the educational institution, government jobs, marriage registration, all where this birth certificate that is going to work. So please remember that if you want to register under anywhere for your birth certificate. So this the birth certificate given by the hospital is the very much handy. So please use all this thing. This data will also use to make the centralized database, and this could be used in the different government agencies. For example, here it could be used for the National Population Register. It could be also used as the ration card, okay, and property registration, electoral rolls as well. That the Election Commission of India, they can decide that when they have to give the voting rights to the people when they are crossing the 18 years of the age. So here electoral roll preparation, that is based on this centralized database that is prepared on the basis of the death and the birth certificate, whom we have to remove from the electoral rolls, that also can be decided by this birth and death certificate. So please remember all these things, these are very important. Next news is the BJP suspended former MLA to purifying Alwar temple after Dalit leaders visit. So this is the case you can use in the society, that even such type of the discriminatory behavior exists. Whenever you have to discuss, you have to write your answer for society, and here you, wherever you have to bring the caste discrimination, you can use this example. This is the case in the Rajasthan. One of the MLA that is from the Congress, he was the Dalit. He went to the newly built Ram temple, and there was the consecration ceremony. Consecration ceremony where in the newly temple, the idol of the deities is situated, located at the this main location position, that is known as the, what is there is the very that is, you should know, into the Nagaraj style, there is the main situated location where the main deity is placed. Okay, so here it was done by the Dalit Congress leader. After that, it was the leader from the BJP, Gyan Dev Ahuja. He said that now it has been become polluted with the entry of these Dalit leaders, and he purified with the mantras and other thing by the Ganga Jal, use of the Ganga Jal. This is the very much you can use into the ethics as well. You can use this into the society, into the caste discrimination, all this area. You can give this as the example. Next news is the India UAE to deepens defense cooperation. So this news is particularly talking about the India and UAE has entered into the strategic partnership. Already we have the strategic partnership with the UAE. So the first thing you should know about that, this is the defense industry where uh, we have dealt now. The agreement is to exchange of the weapons and the different tools, all this thing. First thing you should know that where is the UAE located. That is very much important because UPSC prelims, they are asking the location based question. So let's locate this UAE. Please open your map, and here you will find that this is Abu Dhabi, and the Abu Dhabi is the capital of UAE. One of the most important strait that is situated is the Strait of Hormuz, that is located here. You should also know that the Gulf of Oman, that is being connected by the Persian Gulf directly through this Strait of Hormuz. So this is very much important. So here the Strait of Hormuz that you should remember. The second thing you should remember is the Strait of Bab al-Mandeb. So this is also important. Here you will see that the Gulf of Mandain is connected by the Red Sea. So here the Gulf of Aden, that is here, you will see that the Red Sea, and the Red Sea will be touching to the Israel. That is in very much in the news. So UPSC has very much a intuition to ask this type of the questions. So please remember all these things. Okay. Next thing, next news that we will be covering. Congress Working Committee adopts CWC, that is the Congress Working Committee adopts resolution to walk the path shown by the Vallabhbhai Patel. So here you will see the Vallabhbhai Patel now remains in the news. BJP many a times tried to appropriate the Vallabhbhai Patel, and here this is the political news, but you should know that the personalities in GS paper 1, one of the syllabus is the personalities of the Indian freedom struggle. So Vallabhbhai Patel and the Jawaharlal Nehru, they have been the contrasting political figure. One is appropriated by the Congress, one is appropriated by the Vallabhbhai Patel. Here you will see that the till last of his breath, the Vallabhbhai of Congress. And yes, there was the ideological differences, there was the sum of the differences between the Vallabhbhai Patel and Jawaharlal Nehru, but still they respect each other so much, because you will find that the latest they exchange, one of the latest, for example, on the many, whenever there is the conflict of the thought opinion, they try to keep this themselves apart, side. But the thing is that the respect never diminished. One of the later, you will see that whenever there is the chances that they wanted to leave the Congress or leave the government, they said that you are more important for the country. You should remain into the your Council of Ministry. I will leaving because your position is very high. So, for example, here you will see that the one of the later that is talking about that. Sardar Patel himself wrote to the Pandit Nehru on the August 3, 1947, and unequivocally stated our attachment and affection for each other and our comradeship for unbroken period of the nearly 30 years admit of no formalities. Our combination is unbreakable, and therein lies our strength. Means the unity of both of them that make them more stronger and to represent and to tackle the different situation in a much effective manner. So here you will see that such type of the thing happens even during the Council of Ministry time. Even the here the Congress has given the example that after the assassination of Mahatma Gandhi, it was the Vallabhbhai Patel who banned the RSS. Okay, so it has been mentioned here. So you should know both point of view, because you don't have to write one point of view. As a student of the UPSC, aspirant of the UPSC, you should know the pros and cons. You should know the both aspect. What is the BJP is telling that the Congress has ignored Vallabhbhai Patel and they have belittled Vallabhbhai Patel because of there was the conflict between the Jawaharlal Nehru and Vallabhbhai Patel. It was also due to the reason that Jawaharlal Nehru don't like the Vallabhbhai Patel, and that's why the after coming government formed by the Congress, they have belittled uh, Vallabhbhai Patel. This has been mentioned here. Next news that we are going to cover again. Here is the same dispute that Congress insulted Ambedkar, never gave Patel his due. So here it has been again mentioned. So again you should know that it was the Congress who gave the ministry to the Ambedkar. He was the law minister, you should know. But yes, it is true that he resigned as well. There was so much conflict between the Ambedkar and the Congress. But at the same time, you should know that he has the respect for the Congress leader as well. So there was the conflicting situation, but he never inclined towards the right-wing ideology. So that was the other thing you should also know. He criticized those who have been brought the casteistic centralization into the society. So all this thing you should know. You should know both aspect of the Ambedkar and Nehru and Vallabhbhai Patel, because UPSC asked, there has been the question that they have compared the Tagore with the other personalities, Subhash Chandra Bose, Vallabhbhai Patel, Mahatma Gandhi, all has been asked, and the UPSC has asked to compare with the other personalities. So this has been the trend, you should know. Beside that, one more thing has given that the BJP has criticized that the head and president of the Congress, they have not visited a statue of Kevadia. So what is the statue of the Kevadia? That is the highest statue, highest infrastructure that we have created. So it is also known as the Statue of Unity, and this is situated in the Kevadia, that is the district into the Gujarat. So Kevadia, this is in the Gujarat, and you should know that this is the highest. The height is 182 meters here. So this is the height is so much, and this is the highest, and this has been situated on the Narmada, at the bank of the Narmada river. So all these things you should know. It was designed by the sculptor Ram V. Sutar. So for the pieces, these are important thing where it is who designed, where it is situated, Narmada River, and its height is 182 meter. So it is the one of the highest statue. All this thing you should remember. These are particularly important for the PCS examination. Next news. Skymet forecast normal monsoon La Nina week. So here you will see that the La Nina and El Nina phenomena that is associated with the geography. In the geography, the rainfall pattern, particularly during the monsoon period, that is impacted by the La Nina and El Nina phenomena. So one thing you should remember, El Nina and La Nina, they are opposite to each other. So just one concept, if you have better understanding, you can easily explain. So the first thing you should know is about the El Nina. El Nina, El Nina. Most important thing you should know that El Nina situation is initiated when the ocean current at the bank coast of the Peru that is changed from to the cold to the warm current. What is happening? At the Peruvian coastal line, just open your word map and here you will see that it is the Peru that is situated into the west, south at the western part of the South America. This is the northwest part. This is the Peru. Okay, this Peru is here. And here normally it is the cold current that flows. But in case of the El Nina, this cold current is replaced by the warm current. And due to the warm current, you will see that the air, that is wind that flow with the moisture, will reduced in the Asian region. And that's why in India, there is very much lack of rainfall. So in the case of El Nina, the rainfall will be lesser in India. Okay. So here what is happening? It is the cold current that is being replaced by the what? Warm current. So please remember this. If one concept you remember, that what is the situation when El Nina is created? The first thing and the only thing you should remember, that here normally the cold current that flows, but the cold current that is replaced by the warm current, and this warm current shift the pressure belt that intensify instead of Indian continent, that intensification becomes here and the rainfall become high in this continent, and in India the rainfall became deficient. So it is less than the normal condition. Is it clear? So that is the first thing you should remember. Second thing is the opposite condition of the El Nina is the La Nina. So in the La Nina case here, the cold current that become the more colder. The temperature cold means the temperature is low. And in the case of La Nina, it will be the lesser. For example, in the winter you see that many times the temperature decrease, and it goes below to the 0 degree. So the just opposite condition, in that opposite condition, the warm air will be shifted toward the Asia, and here you will see that the Indian subcontinent, there will be the intensification of the rainfall. So that you should remember. Next news that we are going to cover, again, all this thing that has been explained here, what is the condition of the La Nina, El Nina. In the case of the El Nina, this year, it will be the condition of the weak La Nina. Means there will be the rainfall and rainfall will be above the average, but the not that much in the surplus. In the normal La Nina, the surplus is very high, but this time it is weak La Nina, and that means it will be above the normal rainfall, but not the surplus will be not that much higher. And you will see that here it has mentioned as the monsoon rain-fed zone, and that is the Maharashtra and Madhya Pradesh. So what is mean by the rain-fed zone? What is it mean by the rain-fed zone? So rain-fed zone, in the most of these areas, the irrigation is dependent on the rainfall. not on the canal or the tube well or the other mode of the irrigation. It is the rain that is the area is dependent on the rain, and that's why we call it a rain fed area or the region. Now we will start with the GS paper 2, and now there has been a very landmark judgment from the Supreme Court, and the one of the matter that is so much disputed for the last 2 years, particularly it was due to the tussle between center and state, the union and the state, and particularly those state where the party that is into the center, the BJP that is not into the power in those state at the state level. And that why there was the fight, and it was through the governor. BJP at the center wanted to control that state. For example, it was the Tamil Nadu and Kerala in the particular in this news. So here you will see that there was this instances where Tamil Nadu government passed so many laws and legislature in the form of the bill, and they sent it to the governor. Governor either didn't take the decision, or it was withheld for the lot of time. And even when the state government again passed the same bill and sent again to the governor, governor decided this time to send it to the president. So the delay was so much high. So here the question comes on the Article 200. So the Article 200 that talk about what will be the condition, what will be the options with the governor when the bills comes from the where? From the state legislature to the governor. So first of all, I will ask you that what is the main component of any of the state legislature, or at the union level, what is the main component of the parliament? So here you will see that the main component of the, if you will talk about the parliament, so it will be the Lok Sabha plus Rajya Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and plus it is the president. They form the core of the parliament. Again, at the state legislature, it is the state legislative assembly, state legislative assembly. Okay. And some states have the state legislative council. We already have discussed there are the 6 states who have the state legislative council. So it is not here, it is not mandatory for the each of the state. And then governor. It is. Okay, here it is the 6th state. You should know the 6th state. 4 are in the south, 2 are in the north. North, they are connected, UP and Bihar. In the south, they are connected. You will go Karnataka, Andhra, Telangana and Maharashtra. So 4 plus 2. 4 in the south and 2 into the north. This is very easy to remember. Okay. So as per the constitution, what defines this state legislature? It is Article 168. Article 168. Article 168. So let's see the Article 168 in the Constitution itself. Please open your Constitution, bare Act of the Constitution. Open 168. Okay, so where is 168? Yeah, here 168. This is start with the chapter 3. And part 6, here you will see that the state legislature, for every state there shall be the legislature, and here it consists legislature that consists governor. Okay, governor. If there is the 2 house, so it is the legislature of the state and legislative council. Like the Lok Sabha, it is the state legislature, legislative assembly, and like the Rajya Sabha, we have the state legislative council, and it is with the only 6 states have the legislative council. Please remember that UPSC or the PCS in the prelims, they can ask those 6 states. So here the definition of the state legislature is defined into Article 168. Now we will come at the Article 200, where the main dispute is there, that assent power. Where is Article 200? Article 200 you can easily remember. Article 200 is just after the money bill definition. Money bill is defined at the state level into the Article 199. At the union level, everyone, you must be knowing that the money bill is defined into the 110. 110, Article 110 of Indian Constitution define what is the money bill at the union level. Both definitions are the same, but for the union it has been defined in Article 110, and in state, for the state assembly it has been defined at the 199. So please remember both of this thing. Okay. So here you will see that after 199, it is the 200, and 200 talks about the assent, and assent by the governor. Here you will see that after the passage of the bill from the both house, pass ho gaya, and then it will be transferred to the whom? To the governor. And governor has three options. The first is that he can withhold. Withhold, he will not give the assent, or he will give the assent. Good, if the same government, my government, I will give the assent, there is no issue. If the government is not mine, I will withhold, or I will not give the assent. I will keep it into the pocket. Here the third option is that the reservable consideration of the president. Again, here you will see that the governor has also one more option. This is the fourth option. Here the three option. The fourth option is that, but it is not in the case of the money bill, except money bill, because here it is given that if it is not a money bill, in that case, what the governor can do, he can send the bill to the whom? Again to the state legislature, and the state legislature if again give pass, if it passed again or it sent again without the any amendment, here it must be approved by the governor. The case is that here the time has not been defined particularly, specifically, but the one thing has mentioned here that as soon as possible. So here as soon as possible, this is the word that the judiciary has considered this as soon as possible, meaning this phrase meaning that it should be the immediately, and here the Supreme Court has given that it should be the within 1 month in the case of reconsideration, and if it has been not reconsidered, it should be the 3 month where the governor should act. So it is the landmark judgment. Please write the name of this judgment as well. The name of the judgment is the state of Tamil Nadu versus Governor of Tamil Nadu. The name of this judgment, very important judgment. Even in the mains UPSC can ask this, Governor of the Tamil Nadu. So here you will find that the main tussle was due to the delay and assent not given to the 10th of the bill. And here the judiciary that has used its power under Article 142, it is the very extraordinary article that gives very extraordinary power to the Supreme Court to do the complete justice, and doing the complete justice they can issue the writ, they can issue the order, they can issue the decree, and here it has been the issue the decree, and here the time limit has been defined. So here judiciary has brought the legislation. One of the example of there is the judicial activism. Judiciary when activate in the area of the policy making, that is known as the judicial activism. Please remember that. This is very important. Many times the concept you could confuse with the what is the judicial activism. Judicial activism means that judiciary is coming out of its domain, its jurisdiction, and it is entering into the domain of the other part of the government, like the executive and the legislature. Here the judiciary is entering into the domain of the legislature and making the policy and using the Article 142. In the original constitution, the time limit has not been defined, but in this here you will see that in the case if there is the question that was asked to the judiciary under Article 200, it is the governor obliged to resend the bill to the legislative assembly with reasoning, or can simply say that withholding assent. It means that if there is a bill that is coming to the governor, whether the governor can send it with the reason that why I am not giving assent, or it should just reject and withhold its assent without telling anything. So here the Supreme Court has said that there should be the reasoning that should be provided, that why the governor is not giving its assent. So this is the main thing you should remember. So reasoning should be given. It is not simply you can reject or withhold your assent. So this is coming from the Supreme Court judgment, and the judgment name already that has been mentioned. It is the Government of Tamil Nadu versus Governor of Tamil Nadu. So this is the fight, and this is the role of the governor where it has been questioned. The second thing that was asked into the Supreme Court, where the Tamil Nadu government has requested that when can governor send a repassed bill which has previously withheld assent from to the president? Means the first, when the bills comes, at the first chance the governor withheld his assent, doesn't give the assent. So, but again after rejection, it's again being passed by the state legislature and sent to the governor. Now governor is giving it to the president. So here, why not the president gave referred it to the president at the first instance? So that was asked. So in that case, the Supreme Court has replied that once the Legislative Assembly repasses the bill, the governor must either give assent or send it to the president. They cannot withhold it again without action. So again, when the second chance, the must either give to assent or send it to the president. This is the norm. Okay. Again, here he cannot withhold the bill. He cannot say that I am not taking the decision, I will not give a decision. The third question that was being asked, has there been a delay in the discharge or exercise of the constitutional function in the Tamil Nadu? The court observed a clear delay in the governor's performance, and here the constitutional duties was not fulfilled by the governor. That has been said by the Supreme Court, that the governor and Ravi has not done or acted in appropriate manner. So here it is given the clear cut jurisdiction that what will happen. So here you will find that what was there. The situation here, it has been discussed that in a significant move, the court fixed the time limit 1 month to 3 months, where the assent has to be given. Even if he want to reject or he do not want to approve a particular bill, until and unless the bill has been approved, it cannot be a what act. It cannot be treated as the act. So here you will see that the governor has a maximum of 1 month to withhold assent on aid and advice of the state cabinet. So here you will see that even in this case, the governor has to act on the aid and advice. Here there is no discretion. So in the passage of the bill, even the governor doesn't have the discretion. Please remember this thing. The second thing, if he withhold assent contrary to the cabinet advice, he has maximum of the 3 months to return the bill with a message specifying his reason. If the ad and advice has been given by the state cabinet to pass, but the governor don't want to pass, in that case it has the 3 month, and in 3 months he has to write that why he is withholding the assent despite the state cabinet has given the assent. The other thing that has been here mentioned, governor must grant assent to bill repassed by the state legislature under the Article 200 within a maximum of the 1 month. So, whenever a bill is passed by the state government and governor has rejected first time, again this bill has been repassed by the state legislature, and again when it is sent to the governor, he has to give his assent within 1 month. So here you cannot keep in your docket and keep it for the infinite time. You have to take action, and the action should be within 1 month in the case of repass. So here you will see that the variation into the 1 to 3 month. 3 month in the case when the cabinet give advice, add an advice, governor don't want to pass, he want to withhold with his discretion. So discretion also come in the play. So please remember all this thing. Governor should put on the clock as the constitutional significance of Article 200, and federal polity required that their conduct answer to the determinable judicial standard. So here, if the governor will not take the action within the stipulated time given by the Supreme Court, so again the judiciary can look into the matter. Even the punishment can be given to the governor. Action can be taken by the judiciary against the governor. All this thing has been mentioned in this article. So this is very landmark judgment. It is talking about the Article 200. You should also know about the Article 168 that talk about what constitute the state legislature. And state legislature, the first thing is the state legislative assembly. In the Hindi, it is known as the Vidhan Sabha, and the second state legislative council, that is known as the state Vidhan Parishad, and the governor is also integral part of the state legislature. Same manner at the union level, it is the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, and the president. They are the integral part of the parliament, and here it is the state legislature. Here the logic has been given. The government has been represented by our Attorney General of India. Attorney General, please tell what is the article that has been that defined the Attorney General. Any one of you, please. Online mode, you can also answer. I will be watching your reply and response here. So anyone who have answered. Good morning, sir. Haqiq Rahman. Good morning. Ranjit Yadav. Good morning. Okay. Okay, yeah. So please also reply and give responses. Here you will get that the Article 76 that talks about the Attorney General of India. This is the main, this is the head of the law personality. This is the main lawyer of the government. So let's see into the our constitution where act it is Article 76. Please open Article 76, all of you. It's talk about the Attorney General of India. The President shall appoint a person who qualified to be appointed as the judge of the Supreme Court as the Attorney General. So the qualification of the Attorney General is the same. That is the qualification of the to be appointed as the judge of Supreme Court. What is the qualification for to be appointed as the Supreme Court judge? Do there is any eligibility criteria for the age? So here, please answer. Online mode, please answer that there is any. Okay. Aditya Chauhan, 78, 76. Okay, good. Yeah, 76. So here you will see that the eligibility criteria for the Supreme Court judge is the 5 years. He should be the judge of the High Court, and it should be in the consecutive manner. There should not be the gap. Okay. And the other criteria is the 10 years as the advocate. So good. Good, Adit. It is 76. And good, there is no time limit. Here you will see that the such matters and to perform such other duties as it is assigned by the president. So all these things you should remember. Next news that we are going to cover again. Okay, we have done with this. Governors have no absolute or the pocket veto. It means that beyond a time limit, it cannot withhold his assent. And beside that, a governor cannot exercise his personal discretion if the House pass the same bill again and return it to him to consent. So here, in the case of the repassing of the bill, there will be the no discretion with the. Again, this is also with the president as well. If the bill is passed again by the parliament, so the president has to give the assent. So please remember all these things. Next news that we are going to cover is the ruling order Tamil Nadu applies on the ongoing case with the Kerala. Same thing that has been happened here. It has been mentioned that the Article 168 that defined that what constitute state legislature. Next news, MP court sends fake cardiologist linked to the 7 death to the police custody. So this is the normal criminal news. Only you have to careful about the National Human Rights Commission. So you should know that in the National Human Rights Commission, what are the members, what are the qualifications. The chairperson should be either a Chief Justice of India or retired Chief Justice of India or the judge of the Supreme Court. Previously, it was only the retired Chief Justice of India. So there was a very less options for the state to appoint a person as the chairman of the National Human Rights Commission. Due to this lack of the options, very low options, we have now brought the amendment in 2019, and with this 2019 amendment, we have brought in the eligibility criteria. Same time, we have also brought the tenure to the 3 years. Previously, it was the 5 years. Now it is the 3 years, and the age limit is the 70 years. So please remember, the chairperson, the age limit is 70 years, and the tenure is the 3 years. Previously, it was 5 years. So all this thing, it is not now 5 years, it is the 3 years. So as per the updated data, it should be the 3 years. Please remember all this thing. You should remember that the National Human Rights Commission has the ex officio member, like our minority commissions, commission from the chairperson of those SCs and STs, and also from the minority commissions. All they are the member of the National Human Rights Commission. Next news that we are going to discuss is the court orders Medha Patkar release in defamation case. So here you will find that the defamation case is always being discussed, how it has been used, misused, whether it is relevant or irrelevant. You should know that whenever you read the article, whenever you study Article 3, Article 19, so in Article 19, there are also the restriction. In one of the restriction, it is the defamation that we talks. So in case of the defamation, there is the civil defamation cases and the criminal cases, and in the criminal cases there is the imprisonment. So here Medha Patkar is very much famous. She is associated with the Narmada Bachao Andolan. In Narmada Bachao Andolan, it was the protest against the dam, and it was the Sardar Sarovar dam that was being built on the Narmada river. It was protested because of it was assumed that it could submerge High Court, 10 years, 5 years, Supreme Court judge. Okay, yeah, right. Satyam Agrahari, yeah, right. Okay, so here you will find that the Narmada Bachao Andolan, and it was associated with the Sardar Sarovar Dam, and it was on the Narmada River. And here there was some comment, and the comment that has been contested by the former Lieutenant Governor of the Delhi, V.K. Saxena. The main thing you should know that the defamation that comes under restriction under Article 19. The first thing you should remember. The second thing is that there has been always debate that the defamation is many a times this is restricting our capacity to freedom of speech, and particularly this gives a disproportionate power to the ruling party, and ruling party, whenever it's come into the power, be it is either it could be the BJP or it could be the Congress, whoever remain in the power, they try to curb the freedom of speech of the people, and that's why the defamation is always debated that it should be done with, it should be the removed, repealed. But the thing is that Article 21 also talk about the right to dignified life. So if you don't have the reputation, again the judiciary has said that the Medha Patkar, she already have a high grade of the reputation into the public domain. So she should also respect the reputation of the others. So it is the balance between Article 19 and 21. That's why the defamation makes the balance. So use of defamation should be very rational and reasonable. So whenever you are writing Article 19, one of the point you should bring the defamation cases. Next news that we are going to discuss is the governor cannot change his mind second time. So again, the same article, Article 200, that is being discussed, that if the governor is not taking decision to reserve the bill for the consideration of the president at the first instance, he cannot do again if the state legislature passes the same bill and send to the governor. First time you didn't decide it, second time you are deciding to send to the president. So how you are changing your mind? So here it is he cannot change the mind for the second time. If you are holding one belief, one stand, you should keep it for the second time as well. So this is the main thing that Supreme Court is talking about. Okay. Next news that we are going to discuss, again Modi says 42 crore loans given to the Mudra. So already that has been discussed. Mudra is the particularly those who are from the marginalized category, if they want investment, if they want to enter into the entrepreneurship, so government support, and the support is given by the Mudra loan scheme. So here you will see that the loan has been given to the marginalized section, particularly SC, STs and women as well. And the government has given that the beneficiary of this scheme, nearly 70% has been from this category. So good result you can write whenever you are writing a mains answer. Mudra scheme you can mention, and the achievement that has been achieved by it you can mention. BIMSTEC, already we have discussed so much about the BIMSTEC. So BIMSTEC, number of how many numbers of countries are in the BIMSTEC? First thing you should know that the BIMSTEC is a regional grouping. Second thing, it is interlinking between it interlink Southeast Asia, SAARC, and South Asia with the Southeast Asian countries. So SAARC with the Asians. So BIMSTEC is the middle path, and it was initiated, it was established to bypass the hurdle created by the Pakistan. So first thing you should remember, 7, okay, Adit, it is 7, 5 from the Asia and 2 from the Southeast Asia, particularly Myanmar and the Thailand. Okay. This time it is into the Bangkok, and the next time it is about to be held into the Bangladesh. Good. Already we have discussed one thing more. Here it has mentioned that the BBIN, that the Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Nepal agreement, and here you should know that there was the motor vehicle agreement. This motor vehicle agreement was mainly achieved particularly to make this connectivity in a very smooth manner. Many a times whenever there is the passage of the borders, there are a lot of the paperwork, and this paperwork create the hurdle into the logistic delay, and logistic delay result into the many a times when your truck is stuck into the traffic, and it is more than 2 days, 5 days, 10 days. So it depends that it's many a times impact the goods. For example, if there is the perishable goods like the vegetable and the fruits, so there is the rotting wastage of those materials, those products, and this in that case there is the that impact negatively to the trade. So we have brought this motor vehicle agreement so that registration process, the process of approval could be streamlined, and it could be make that the single window clearance process could be achieved. So here, but the thing is that Bhutanese parliament has rejected, and it has rejected on the ground of the sustainable development. They said that it could result into the high number of the vehicle, and high number of vehicle, how it could impact the environment. Please answer. Satyam 6, no Satyam, it is 7, 5 plus 2. So, please, anyone? Environmental impact, simple thing, vehicular pollution, and it could result into the greenhouse gas emission, and that's why it can impact the environment. And Bhutan is very much focused on the development with the alignment with the nature, sustainable development. They focus more on the happiness index as compared to their other index, investment index, or their trade index. All this thing is not matter. First thing that matters for the Bhutan is the happiness index. So that's why they want to proper. But the thing is that still, as per the Indian ground, India talks about Satyam Agrari. India talks about that whenever you talk about sustainable development. India talk about that whenever there is a trafficking at the border. So this is also result into the lot of the fuel burning, and also the environmental pollution, emission of the greenhouse gases. So such type of things also pollute the nature, pollute the environment. So here there is need for the balance, and again, MIMSTEC is want to achieve the free trade agreement and custom agreement. Again, we have decided the timeline for the 2030, and the mission is the 2030. So you can also add up that vision 2030 with respect to the this BIMSTEC is that we want to achieve the free trade agreement as well as the custom agreement, so that we can, again, the thing is that if diversification of trade is possible, that is only solution for the existing into this multipolar world. You already seeing that what happening into the actions, just by the one person's the actions, the decision taken by the Trump, you are seeing that the global order has been totally disbalanced. And in that case, if there is the more diversification, you will have the cushion to face such type of the shocks. That is one of the reason that we want to expedite this free trade agreement with the BIMSTEC countries. Next news, gradual transformation of the Home Ministry. So this will be part of GS paper 2. In GS paper 2, you talks about the different ministries, and one of the most important ministry is the Home Affairs Ministry. Here you will see that the Home Affairs Ministry, what are the main mandate? The first mandate, that whenever there is the matter of the internal security, Home Ministry comes into the forefront. And during the 1980s, there was the terrorism, there was the insurgency, there was the Naxalism that was on the peak. Punjab was facing the issue, terrorism in the Jammu and Kashmir, insurgency in the north is either be Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, and in the our central India, it was the Naxalism, and that's why the Ministry of Home Affairs got its prominence. So this article talks about the different paramilitary force that works under the Ministry of Home Affairs. So here you will see that all the paramilitary force, Assam Rifles, Border Security Force, Central Industry Security Forces, CRPF, Indo-Tibetan and National Security Guard, and Sashastra Seema Bal. All these Sashastra Seema Bal, they are the guarding India-Nepal border. You will see that the Border Security Force, India-Pakistan, India-Bangladesh. You will see that the Central Industrial Security Forces, important buildings and infrastructure, Indo-Tibetan Border Police. This is on the India-China border. All these things you should remember. CRPF and the Rapid Action Force, they are very much expertise into the riot control. So here it has given the Rapid Action Force and the CRPF. They are the riot control, they have the expertise. So please remember all these things. Which paramilitary force they are, where they have deployed, and in case of any of the internal disturbance, they can be mobilized. All these things you should remember. Beside that, you will see that the Ministry of Home Affairs also come into play whenever there is the disaster management and the narcotic control bureau. So here you will see that before that, it was the administrative restructuring under the Northeast Affairs and the Department of the Justice. That was previously, it was the part of Ministry of Home Affairs. Now it is the separate ministry. Separate ministry because of focus decision could be taken, focus policy could be taken with respect to the northeastern states. There was so much ignorance, and there was so much demand for the separation from the northeast, and after that we decided that we will focus on the developmental strategy and policy of the northeast, and we separated and make a separate ministry for the northeast affairs. Again, Department of the Justice, again it was needed and it was separated. Further in this article, it has been discussed that there has been the policy lacuna. Policy lacuna, it was only due to there was so much change into the Home Affairs Ministry under the different government. But there is now stability under the Modi government, and that's why we see that there is the concrete result we are getting into the internal security matter. So in the news, it has been discussed that under Prime Minister Indira Gandhi and her son Rajiv Gandhi, there has been so much change into the Ministry of Home Affairs, and it is due to this change. 4 home ministers were changed under the Rajiv Gandhi and Indira Gandhi, and it was due to this changes, a concrete and integrated and a continuity in the policy has not been there. What happens whenever you change the one home minister with the other home minister? He comes with the new ideas, on his own ideas. What about the previous ideas in the internal security matters? Whenever you take the decision and implement that decision, it's take lot of time. It is not the very much instantaneously you are going to get result. It is the time that demanded to get implemented, and how they are going to response, the response you get, the feedback you get, and after that you tweak, you make the changes in your responses, and again you take the decision, you implement the decision. If the same person is there, he's observing everything, he's changing, he's amending, he's implementing, enforcing, all these things remain in continuity. But the changes bring the change in the policy, change into the decision, change into the implementation, change into the enforcement, and that's create lacuna, and that's make this policies ineffective. So it was ineffective during the Indira Gandhi. It was not that much effective into the Rajiv Gandhi, but you will see that there has been a stability that was under the P.V. Narasimha Rao. Later it was Atal Bihari Vajpayee, Home Minister Lal Krishna Advani, and again now the under Prime Minister Modi ji, now the Amit Shah is the Home Ministry, and now we see that there has been the continuity into the policy, and that has been a positive impact. Here different act was discussed that has been brought at the different time, point of the time, to discuss different emergency situation. During the Punjab emergency, we brought the TADA, that was the Terrorist and the Disruptive Activities Prevention Act. This was repealed because this became so much harsh and there was so much misuse of this act. So it was repealed. Again, it was the POTA that was brought to in the context of the parliamentary attack, 2001 parliament attack. And again, it was the misuse of this POTA provision by the state machinery. That's why it was also repealed. Now we have the National Investigation Agency. This is the permanent body. And whenever there is the case of the any terrorist cases, any blast cases, so this agency take the lead and investigate. So these are the things you should know, how there has been the change in the different legislative ground. Okay, so all this thing has been discussed here. Next news that we are going to take, what is the current situation in the South Korea? Already we have seen that there has been the change into the president of the South Korea. There has been some policy changes, and it was so much that there was a case, a chances of the revolt in the South Asia. There was so much disaffection. There was so much internal disturbance in the South Africa. It was the president Yoon Suk Yeol. He was forced to resign, and after that, the situation is precarious into the South Korea. That has been discussed. South Korea, North Korea, that has been a point of continuously turmoil. So all these things you should know. Here we will conclude our session. Thank you for joining the session. All the best. Jai Hind. Keep watching this lecture. They are very productive. And in the case of any of the query, any of the doubt, you can send your messages below the video, and also you can send your messages or queries. That is our contact number. This is our WhatsApp number, 9971 932488. Here you can write your doubts. You can also, if you want to join our mentoring program, you can also join the mentoring program by sending your messages. Besides that, the current affairs is so much important, and you should also refer our documents. We post it on our Telegram channel. You can get the link of the Telegram channel, that is on the name of the Patriotic IS. So you can search Patriotic IS, Patriotic IAS. In capital letter, it is Patriotic IAS. You have to search, you will get our channel link. So this is all about from the today's news. Thank you again.